Have you ever just been scrolling and had this weird feeling like your digital life is being guided by these invisible forces? That the apps you'll use, what you see, even how you post, it's all part of some secret rulebook you never got a copy of? Well, guess what? There is one. And today, we're going to pull back that curtain and actually read it together. So this whole journey for me started with one single kind of obscure word I found when I was digging into this 18th century philosopher, Giambattista Vico. The word was nomogram. Now, I know, it sounds super technical, right? Maybe a little boring. But trust me, this one word turned out to be the key that unlocks how power really works in our world today. You see, nomogram has this incredible double meaning. On the surface, yeah, it's just a boring calculation chart for engineers. But in Vico's world, it's something so much bigger. It's the invisible blueprint of a society. It's all the myths, the rituals, the images that tell us what's good, what we should want, and how we should act, all without a single law being written down. To really get our heads around this, we need a toolkit. And I think the best way to think about it is like having two different maps to see the world. One map, it shows you the roads and the buildings. But the other one shows you the deep geological forces that created the whole landscape to begin with. So our first map comes from Lawrence Lessig, and it's that topography map. It shows us the how, the visible stuff, right? The mechanics of control, like actual laws, the market, the code that runs our apps. But the nomogram, that's our geology map. It goes so much deeper. It doesn't ask how, it asks why. Why do we follow these rules in the first place? It digs down to the myths and desires that make us want to obey. All right, enough theory. Let's make this real. Let's take our new toolkit and apply it to something we all know, maybe a little too well, the world of Instagrammable culture. Okay, so if we're looking at the geological core of Instagram, what's the big, powerful myth driving it all? It's this idea that we should be performing our ideal life for an audience. It's this powerful story that's always whispering to us that our lives are most valuable when they look perfect. When they're curated into this beautiful photo for everyone else to see and admire. And this myth, it gets reinforced through all these little modern rituals. Just think about it for a second. We make a pilgrimage to that one cool cafe. We make an offering of a perfectly shot photo of our avocado toast. We get communion back in the form of likes and comments. We even obey these unwritten physical laws of how to pose, what face to make. These aren't just posts, you guys. They're rituals that prove we believe in the myth. What this all adds up to is a perfect example of this ancient idea called Theatrum Mundi, which just means the world theater. Instagram has literally become this massive digital stage where we're all actors, just playing the part of our ideal selves, following a script that nobody ever handed us. Okay, now let's level up. Let's look at a much more complex and maybe even more powerful example. When the creator platform Note launched a program to pay creators for their data to train AI, it did way more than just release a new feature. It basically created a new form of government with its very own system of belief. And this new government got its power by using this really clever four-step cycle. First, it told a new story, a new myth. Then it created a ritual for everyone to join in. After that, it built a stage to show off how fair it was, and through that whole process, it got our willing participation. It became legitimate. So first, the myth. Instead of this scary story we all hear, AI is coming to steal your work, Note flipped the script completely. It presented this powerful new idea. Your creativity is a precious resource. It's the knowledge that will help raise the next generation of AI. And just like that, creators weren't victims anymore. They were pioneers. Okay, next up, the ritual. How did all these creators pledge allegiance to this new order? Well, through a very simple, very modern ceremony. They agreed to the new terms of service. And here's the kicker. Participation was the default. You had to go out of your way to opt out. So by just doing nothing, you were performing this quiet, powerful ritual of allegiance. You were in. And finally, the theater. The promise of a future dashboard, one that shows exactly how much you're getting paid. That thing acts as a theater of governance. It's a stage. It's where the abstract value of your creativity gets turned into a real, visible number. And this whole performance of fairness and transparency is what makes the system feel totally justified. So, what's the big takeaway here? What connects the perfect Instagram photo to a complex AI training program? Well, they both reveal something really profound about modern power. It just doesn't work the way we think it does. It's not about brute force. It's about something way more subtle.
And that brings us to the key idea, productive power. Think about it. Old school power was restrictive. It was all about telling you no. Don't do that. You can't go there. But this new kind of power is totally different. It doesn't forbid, it produces. It creates whole new realities that we actually want to be a part of. It invents new values like AI training value and new identities like being an AI nurturing creator. It doesn't force us. It gets us to say yes all by ourselves.
And this brings us right back to our 18th century philosopher, Vico. Almost 300 years ago, he warned us about something he called the barbarism of reflection. He was terrified of a world that would become so obsessed with pure logic and data that it would lose all its poetry, its humanity, its soul. He was basically warning us about a world run by algorithms. Sound familiar? So, I'll leave you with this one crucial question. It's for you. Now that you have the maps, now that you can see both the surface rules and the deep myths, take a good look around. What are the invisible stories and the hidden rituals that are shaping your world?